Do you ever find yourself wondering why, despite all your life experience and the wisdom you've gathered, there's a subtle yet persistent feeling that joy isn't quite as abundant as you'd hoped? It's not about grand tragedies or dramatic events. Often, it's a quiet, underlying dissatisfaction, a sense that something is subtly chipping away at your happiness. Many older adults experience this, and it's a painful reality that can leave you feeling bewildered. You've worked hard. You've raised families. You've navigated life's complexities. And yet, sometimes, happiness feels just out of reach. The secret isn't a complex philosophical concept or a drastic life overhaul. It often lies in a few common, often overlooked, mistakes that we unwittingly make. These aren't intentional acts of self-sabotage, but rather subtle patterns of thinking and behaving that, over time, can seriously diminish our well-being. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 of these shocking mistakes that older people often make. Mistakes that can unknowingly destroy their happiness. More importantly, we'll talk about simple, practical ways to turn these patterns around and reclaim your joy. Make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I have something truly surprising to share that will completely shift your perspective on what's possible for your happiness. Starting today, let's dive right in and uncover the first surprising mistake. One that can subtly trap us in a cycle of discontent, the tendency to constantly dwell on the past and harbor old regrets. Think about it. Do you ever find yourself replaying old conversations, reliving missed opportunities, or re-examining decisions you made years ago? Perhaps you lament a career path not taken, a relationship that ended, or simply how much easier things felt back in the day. While it's natural to reflect on our lives, constantly living in the rearview mirror, especially when those reflections are tinged with regret, disappointment, or bitterness, drains immense energy from your present moment. It's like trying to drive forward while staring fixedly at where you've been. You miss all the beauty of the road ahead, the new scenery, and the exciting possibilities unfolding right now. The shocking part about this mistake is that many of us believe reflection is a healthy thing, which it can be. But there's a fine line between learning from the past and being shackled by it. When we obsess over what could have been or what should have been, we deny ourselves the opportunity to experience joy and contentment in the here and now. We're essentially holding onto a heavy suitcase filled with old emotional baggage, lugging it around everywhere we go, and wondering why we feel so tired and weighed down. So, how do we release this burden? One powerful step is to consciously practice gratitude for what did happen. Even if it didn't unfold perfectly, every experience, every challenge, every perceived failure brought you to where you are today, and you carry a unique wisdom because of it. Try reframing those past failures not as missteps, but as valuable lessons learned. What did that challenging period teach you about resilience, about your own strength, or about what truly matters? Another vital tool is forgiveness. This isn't just about forgiving others for wrongs they may have committed. It's equally, if not more, about forgiving yourself. We all make mistakes. We all have blind spots. And we all do the best we can with the knowledge we have at the time. Releasing self-blame is incredibly liberating. And when it comes to others, holding on to old grudges only hurts you. It's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, freeing up emotional space for happiness. Finally, cultivate mindfulness. This means intentionally bringing your attention to the present moment. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, notice the sounds, the smells, the feeling of your feet on the ground. When you're talking to someone, truly listen. The more we anchor ourselves in the present, the less power the past has to steal our joy. Imagine the relief of finally setting down that heavy suitcase and feeling light enough to truly enjoy the journey you're on right now. And speaking of the past, keeping us from the present, there's another insidious mistake many of us fall into: one that's become increasingly common in our modern world, neglecting social connections and allowing ourselves to slip into isolation. As we get older, life naturally shifts. Children grow up and move away. Friends might move or pass on, and retirement can mean losing the daily social interactions of a workplace. It's easy to rationalize a retreat into ourselves, thinking, "I'm fine on my own," or "people are too busy for me now." We might convince ourselves that solitude is enough. But humans are fundamentally wired for connection. We thrive on interaction, shared experiences, laughter, and the comfort of knowing someone cares. Isolation is a silent happiness destroyer. It fuels loneliness, which can lead to anxiety, depression, and even a decline in physical health. The shocking truth is that many older adults, despite living in communities teeming with people, experience profound loneliness because they've stopped actively nurturing their social lives. They might feel awkward reaching out, or assume others aren't interested, or simply feel too tired to make the effort. But that effort is an investment in your happiness. So, what can we do to combat this? The first step is to recognize that connection requires effort from both sides. Don't wait to be invited. Be the one to initiate contact. A simple phone call to an old friend, an invitation for a cup of tea with a neighbor, or suggesting a walk in the park can make a world of difference. Explore new avenues for connection. Your local community center, library, or place of worship often host clubs and activities tailored for older adults. Think about hobbies you enjoy: gardening, reading, board games. There are likely groups dedicated to these interests. Volunteering is another fantastic way to meet like-minded people and contribute to something meaningful, which boosts happiness on multiple levels. Don't be afraid to connect with different generations either. Younger people often bring fresh perspectives and energy, and you have a wealth of experience to share. Even regular, brief check-ins can significantly impact your sense of belonging. It doesn't always have to be a grand outing. A quick text message, a short video call with a grandchild, or a friendly wave to a neighbor can all chip away at isolation. Imagine the warmth and energy that flows from genuine connection, enriching your days and brightening your spirit. Now that we've talked about letting go of the past and embracing connection, let's turn our attention to how we approach the everyday newness of life, because that too holds a key to our happiness. And that brings us to the third pervasive mistake, one that can subtly wall us off from the vibrant world around us: a stubborn resistance to change and an insistence on sticking to old ways. The world is constantly evolving, perhaps faster now than ever before. New technologies emerge, societal norms shift, and even simple things like how we shop or communicate can feel different. For many, there's a natural inclination to cling to what's familiar, to the routines and methods that have always worked. We might say things like, "I'm too old to learn that," or "That's just how we've always done it," or "I don't need all that fancy new stuff." While there's comfort in familiarity, a complete refusal to adapt or learn new things can create a deep sense of frustration, being left behind, and even irrelevance. This isn't just about mastering the latest smartphone. It extends to new ideas about health, new social customs, or even new ways of thinking about ourselves and our capabilities. The shocking part about this resistance is that it's often seen as a sign of stability or wisdom, but it can quickly become rigidity that stifles growth and breeds unhappiness. The comfort zone, when it becomes too restrictive, transforms into a kind of prison, limiting our experiences and our potential for joy. We might feel irritated by things we don't understand, or withdraw from situations where we feel technologically or socially out of sync. This can lead to a quiet resentment and a feeling that the world is moving on without us. To counter this, the key is to cultivate what's often called a beginner's mind. This means approaching new things with curiosity and openness, rather than with a preconceived notion of difficulty or failure. Try something new just for the sake of trying it: a new recipe, a different route for your daily walk, exploring a new app on your device, or even engaging in a conversation about a topic you know little about. View challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to learn and grow. Remember, learning doesn't stop at a certain age. In fact, continuing to learn keeps our minds sharp and our spirits vibrant. Stay informed, but be selective about your information sources to avoid feeling overwhelmed by negativity. And be open to advice and insights from younger generations. They often have valuable perspectives on navigating the modern world. Embrace the idea that adapting isn't about giving up who you are, but about expanding your world and keeping yourself engaged with life's rich tapestry. The joy of discovery, of mastering something new, or simply understanding a different way of doing things, can be incredibly invigorating. It's easy to get comfortable, isn't it? And sometimes, that comfort extends to how we treat ourselves, which leads us to another critical mistake that can seriously undermine our happiness: not prioritizing self-care, and often ignoring our body's signals. As we age, it's common to experience new aches, pains, changes in energy levels, or shifts in mood. It's so easy to dismiss these as just part of getting old, or to think, there's nothing I can do about it. We might also feel guilty about taking time for ourselves, believing that self-care is a luxury or that our needs are less important than others. But this self-neglect is a dangerous path. When we ignore persistent discomfort, fail to move our bodies, or consistently fuel ourselves poorly, it leads to chronic pain, reduced mobility, flagging energy, and a significant decline in mental well-being. All of these factors directly and profoundly impact our overall happiness. The shocking part here is that many older adults, who have spent a lifetime caring for others, suddenly feel that looking after their own fundamental needs is optional, or that they've earned a break from healthy habits. But neglecting your physical and mental health is not a break. It's a slow drain on your vitality and joy. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and an ignored body or mind will eventually protest, leaving you feeling less capable, less engaged, and ultimately, less happy. So, how do we shift this pattern? The first, and perhaps most crucial, step is to truly listen to your body. Don't dismiss new or persistent symptoms. Consult healthcare professionals when needed. They can often offer solutions or insights that can significantly improve your quality of life. Second, embrace gentle movement. This doesn't mean becoming an athlete overnight. It could be as simple as a 10-minute walk each day, some gentle stretching, or chair exercises. The goal isn't to break records, but to maintain mobility, reduce stiffness, and boost your energy. Third, pay mindful attention to what you eat. Nourish your body with wholesome foods, rather than just filling it with whatever is convenient. Small changes, like adding more fruits and vegetables, can make a big difference to your energy and digestion. Fourth, prioritize adequate sleep. Our bodies and minds need rest to repair and rejuvenate. If you're struggling with sleep, explore gentle remedies or speak to your doctor. Finally, mental self-care is paramount. This can be anything from reading a good book, pursuing a beloved hobby, spending quiet time in nature, practicing simple meditation, or seeking support from a therapist or counselor if you're feeling persistently down or anxious. Remember, self-care isn't selfish. It's essential for a joyful and fulfilling life. Taking care of ourselves physically and mentally sets the stage for a happier life. But there's one more profound area where many unwittingly undermine their own joy, and it's about what drives us forward. And that brings us to the fifth and arguably most profound mistake that can steal our happiness: losing our sense of purpose and failing to set new goals for the future. After retirement, or when children have grown and left home, or when previous significant roles disappear, a deep sense of emptiness can begin to creep in. For years, our lives might have been structured around a job, raising a family, or other clear responsibilities. When those structures are removed, some people mistakenly believe that their useful days are over, or that there's nothing left for me to do. This belief, if left unchallenged, can lead to a profound lack of direction, an absence of things to look forward to, and a significant diminishing of motivation and joy. Purpose isn't something exclusively for the young or for professional life. It's a fundamental human need that continues throughout our entire lives. Without a reason to get out of bed with enthusiasm, without something to strive for or contribute to, life can begin to feel flat, meaningless, and ultimately, deeply unhappy. We might fill our days with passive activities, like endless television or social media, because we feel we have nothing else compelling to engage with. But these rarely bring true fulfillment. The good news is that purpose is incredibly flexible and can be redefined at any stage of life. It doesn't have to be a job, or even a grand ambition. Your purpose could be nurturing your garden, volunteering for a cause you care about, mastering a new craft like painting or woodworking, learning a new language, becoming a mentor to younger individuals, or simply being the best grandparent, friend, or neighbor you can be. The key is to find something that gives you a reason to feel engaged, challenged, and valuable. A great way to start is by setting small, achievable goals. Instead of overwhelming yourself with grand plans, think about what little steps you can take each week or month that bring you a sense of accomplishment or joy. It could be finishing a specific book, planting a new variety of flower, learning 5 new words in a foreign language, or committing to weekly video calls with a distant family member. Explore long-held passions that you never had time for before. What did you always dream of doing? Now might be the perfect time to explore it. And finally, consider giving back, helping others, whether through formal volunteering or simple acts of kindness, is one of the most powerful and reliable ways to find profound purpose and meaning in your life. It connects you to something larger than yourself and creates a ripple effect of happiness. These 5 mistakes, dwelling on the past, neglecting social connections, resisting change, not prioritizing self-care, and losing purpose, while seemingly small or even logical at times, can profoundly impact our happiness. But remember, these aren't criticisms. They're incredible opportunities. Each one represents a chance to make a subtle yet powerful shift that can truly transform your experience of life. You have so much wisdom, so much life left to live vibrantly, to learn, to connect, to grow, and to find deep, abiding joy. You've navigated countless challenges to get to where you are, and you possess an incredible inner strength. Now is the time to apply that strength to nurturing your own well-being and actively pursuing your happiness. I'd truly love to hear which of these mistakes resonated most with you, or perhaps a mistake you've already overcome that significantly boosted your happiness. Your experiences are invaluable, and sharing them can help so many others in our community. Please feel free to share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below. And if this video sparked something positive for you, if it gave you a new perspective or a gentle nudge towards a happier path, please give it a thumbs up. That simple action helps more people find this message and benefit from it. Also, consider subscribing to my channel if you want more practical insights, encouraging advice, and helpful strategies to live your happiest, most fulfilling life at every age. You are capable of incredible joy. Embrace these insights. Live your best life. And remember, happiness truly is within your reach. Always.